27 seasons later, and South Park is still causing trouble, and I am here for it. South Park is one of my favorite TV shows of all time, and it goes without saying that we're excited for the new season. But for this video, I thought it would be fun to take a few steps back to when South Park ruled the world. The year was 1998, a time when South Park only had 2 seasons, where you'd be watching the VHS tapes with introductions from Matt and Trey by the fireplace.
I would never kill somebody, unless they pissed me off.
And waiting in an excited anticipation for the upcoming feature-length film. So of course, South Park needed video games pronto, reminiscent of another animated series that took the world by storm and also had its fair share of video games. Now we know by now that South Park has great video games, some of the best video game adaptations of an adult animated series. But these... Matt and Trey don't even want to talk about it. It felt like the series was a fad at the time, and publishers wanted to rush out a game before the fire went down. First up is South Park. Initially released for the N64 with ports for PS1 and PC coming out later, the reviews for this game were not great, but it's been over 20 years. I'm sure there's gotta be some merit we can find here, right? The game opens with this intriguing recreation of the show's iconic opening. Not quite sure what's up with the dancing here. The game is in 3D since, you know, it's the big 3D era of gaming. Definitely a weird choice for a show animated in such a particular style. It makes for some haunting imagery, but at the same time, it does really well to capture the image of the show. I mean, for making a 3D rendition within the second season of its lifespan, it's fine, I guess. It's not one of the best looking N64 games, but I do cut it some slack for its hardware. Then we have this opening narration, as the game attempts to have some sort of story.
The planet, Earth. The town to be victimized, South Park, Colorado. A quaint little town, nestled in the peaks of the Rocky Mountains. Where better to terrorize good and decent folk? Yeah, right.
The best part of the game is the very opening cutscene, as it does feel like something ripped straight out of a classic South Park episode.
What news?
A big comet is headed our way. It's gonna cross paths with the Earth, and when it does, all kind of crazy, spooky stuff is gonna happen.
Spooky like how?
Spooky like you better get your asses indoors, children. I'm not kidding. Our lives are in danger!
And that's the biggest praise I can really give this game. If you're a fan of classic South Park, the feeling of it is all there. Even though the writing feels like bottom of the barrel for South Park.
Clones piss me off. Everything pisses you off, Cartman. You piss me off.
Then again, to my knowledge, Matt and Trey had minimal involvement with this, outside of just providing voices for the game. The gameplay feels like Dookie on the N64 controller. This is a first-person shooter where you can choose from 4 of the main boys. The C buttons are your movement, and the analog is your aiming. Now, for you seasoned Nintendo fans, this might look or feel familiar to you. That's because this is literally a worse version of Turok, another game series by Acclaim. I'm not joking, it's quite literally an exact reskin of those games, even to the button commands. Just much less visually impressive and worse level designs. Get ready to hear loops of lines many, many, many times. I really enjoy the stages where you can actually travel South Park. Just like the newer games, this is always my favorite aspect. Getting to see all of your favorite locations. I imagine that this was really amazing for fans in the 90s, but then we move on to a Renaissance fair. Well, we go around rather large maps throwing snowballs and yellow snowballs at turkeys.
Gobos!
Yep, this is basically the whole game. I hope you enjoy the music too. I don't know what it is, it's definitely not South Park, but you will be hearing it the entire game. The maps are rather large, but also pretty dense or just uninteresting. You do pick up items and weapons that are pretty unique, like the dodgeball, which bounces around, and you can even catch it back. Terrence doll bombs, a cow launcher, a chicken gun. Oh hey, Chef's house. Are those titties on an N64 game? This game surprisingly is not problematic in being too short. In fact, it might be just a bit too long. The repetition is this game's biggest problem alongside its ass controls. The story is told in episodes or levels that are broken down into stages, and there was a point playing this where I started to think, is this game too long? It takes maybe 4 hours to beat, but with how repetitive the gameplay is, it feels much longer. And there are different enemy types, kind of. You got basic enemies and then you have tanks. In the instance of the turkeys, you have a giant turkey tank that shoots eggs out of their... Am I allowed to show that? And then there's this boss which just runs forward and you have to keep whittling its health down. The bosses suck in this game. They just suck. They're either too easy or too tedious. And the boys enjoy a nice turkey dinner.
Hey, you guys, Carmen's eating the turkey butt. I'm not eating turkey butt. You son of a bitch, I'll kick you in the nuts.
The next episode is Attack of the Clones. The town is being attacked by clone mutants based off of the Elephant Makes Love to a Pig episode, except the clones here are of Big Gay Al, Mephisto, Officer Butt Brady, and Jimbo. Yeah, you just go around fighting them until battling the boss. That's the whole game. You just go from point A to point B. What the fuck? The next stage finally has us battling the visitors. Given the game's story, you would think that this would be the finale. First, we have to battle all the cows that the aliens use against us. Very much a callback to the pilot episode. And then we have to reach the mothership. Oh boy. Battling the visitors and saving some kidnapped citizens. I assume Leanne is probably there voluntarily. And then we blow the mothership up. Not nearly as fun as going through the alien ship in Stake of Truth. After that is Killer Robot TVs. Obviously, some deeper message on how damaging television is to our youth. This does remind me of the episode when Chef's TV went berserk, even though that hadn't dropped yet. These enemies suck piss. I don't know what their hitbox is, but it feels like killing them is RNG. Shooting directly at an enemy doesn't seem to do much unless you hit right in the sweet spot. This is where the game feels the most strenuous to play. The level design on the final stage is a real pain in the ass. This game has a lot of doozies, but this one really got under my skin. Lots of dead ends and poor navigation, and then... I can forgive poor level design if the gameplay is good, but for both of them to be bad? The final boss ends up being Mr. Hyatt? Mr. Hyatt, why? I don't know, it's not resolved or explained whatsoever, but...
Oh my god, they killed Kenny, you bastard!
The next episode is the final, where we battle against... toys. Oh dear god. We've got toy tanks, they're so small, they're hard to hit. Pigtailed dolls spitting like Reagan from The Exorcist. And planes? With the type of aiming that this game has? I need a Tylenol. The game eventually concludes with this boss against this giant Gundam. This is one of the worst final bosses in video game history. I remember beating this vanilla on PS1, and I was pulling my hairs out. Well, even with cheats, it's still a nightmare. This enemy has no hitbox whatsoever. Sometimes it's his chest, sometimes it's his knee, maybe the exposed batteries on his back, but who could tell because he never gives you a chance to hit it. And best of all, he can heal. You can only prevent this by hitting this button. You have to time it exactly right, or else he'll just take away all of the progress that you've made. This boss is a shitload of fuck. This alone is worth making a bad review for this game. For God's sake, did they just not check this? I don't understand. After finally beating him, you see this cutscene with Cartman and Miss Pretty Pants and Clatfrog. Then this incredibly awkward cutscene.
Congratulations, children! The comet is gone and you saved the world from despair and destruction. Oh my god! They killed Kenny!
Dude, who's they? A safe fell on him. Well, we always say they. We always say they killed Kenny. That doesn't make any sense, though. Oh, yeah.
That was uncomfortable. Unskippable credits. That's just, is that a whitewashed chef? The best highlight for this game is its multiplayer. With the N64, you can play up to 4-player split screen, and that's a pretty decent catalog of characters to choose from. And it's certainly more entertaining to play against someone than the AI in this title. The map selection is a little dull though, I wish there were more in-town maps. Still, my girlfriend and I had a fun time playing against each other. It was still the most fun that this title offered. The other ports got much worse reviews, the PS1 in particular. The lack of analog can certainly be of issue, but yeah. Graphics and audio are both significantly worse on the PS1, interestingly. Just look at the opening. Ugh. Or any of the cutscenes, in fact. It's like watching a low-quality YouTube recording from 2006. The controls have been changed to the PS1 controller, and I don't actually hate that. The aiming and movement are now synced to just the D-pad. The controls aren't nearly as tedious, but God, it just looks so awful. The draw distance makes this look more like Silent Hill than South Park. Actually seeing it after playing the N64 really puts it into perspective. The audio too, the audio is ear-piercing and the loops are... Ugh. This is the version I played originally years ago, and I'm pissed. Now that I got to actually see the much better N64 version, I don't know what the hell happened with this port, but they definitely dropped the ball. The PC version supposedly is better than the PS1, but still with issues. Unfortunately, I couldn't get it to work on Windows 11, even with the patches. It did have a couple more multiplayer characters and online support, so that alone makes it seem like the best version, and I'm sure the aiming is probably a lot better with the mouse. Well, that's the big one, but there were 2 more games worth talking about. The next South Park game is Chef's Luv Shack, released on the N64, the PS1, Dreamcast, and PC. This game got even worse reviews. Awesome. This is a game show style video game where you play mini games and solve trivia. Well, South Park trivia? Hell yeah, sign me up, I'll kick some ass on that. Well, at least the art style is closer to the show. Sure takes a visual hit though. Like the previous title, this goes up to 4 characters featuring the 4 main boys. And then you can choose how long you want the game to be with these suggestive titles. Ah, foreplay is 4 rounds. Haha, I see what you did there. So the point of the game is the winner gets to go on a romantic trip with Chef? But it's the children.
Gonna make love to your asshole, children.
What?
And apparently no CPUs for the other slots, so it's just me. It's not really a game anymore now, is it? What the fuck? These aren't South Park trivia. This is just poorly written trivia. And you've got little to no time to answer either. Well, at least we have the mini games. This is embarrassing. It's not even a pie-eating contest. This is just gluttonous. Okay, bad kitty. Alright, well, lucky Nintendo, I mean actual Nintendo, didn't sue anybody over this. Oh, look at that, I'm in first place. And there's not been a single South Park trivia question. And all of these minigames are just ripoffs of other games. This is some early web browser quality shit right here. Oh, I won. Well, that was a waste of time. The last game is the most inoffensive one, depending how you look at it. South Park Rally, released for the N64, PlayStation, Windows, and Dreamcast in 2000. This is just, it's just a Mario Kart clone, plain and simple. No, I mean, no, that's literally it. This game also faced major negative response, primarily because it's just not very original. It's a simple kart clone with South Park license. It functions well enough on the N64. It's pretty slippery, but overall wasn't too awful. There's different types of races, from standard checkpoints and laps to holding onto items longer than the other racers. The highlight of this game is its catalog of characters. This is one of the best rosters of playable South Park characters, spanning throughout the first 3 to 4 seasons of the show. But that's it. If anything, This one is worth checking out if you like South Park and kart racing games. The visual style of the show is there, the maps are familiar, and the item pickups, while unapologetically stolen from Mario Kart, are unique to the show. From the anal probes to the underpants gnomes to the herpes prostitute. Hell, you might even get jump scared by Saddam. Can't say you see that in too many other video games. While it isn't a standout, I again find this the least offensive of games. It plays decent enough, it looks fine, it's harmless, there's nothing special about it, but there's nothing agonizing either. In that regard, this could be seen as the best of the three. And just like with the previous, the PS1 took a major graphical hit in its porting. The endgame isn't as bad as the 98 game, but it's noticeably not as impressive, and the audio just cut out.
So pay attention. For our first race, we have set up 4 checkpoints around the town. Each racer...
Okay, and the controls are much worse. I feel like I have little to no control of my vehicle. At times, it's too heavy, and then it's far too slippery. Yeah, screw this. Let's give the Dreamcast version a shot. Wow, this might be the best looking version. Not only that, it plays better than the PS1 and N64. I have so much more control over my vehicle, and it actually feels smoother. It feels like a more competent video game. I really gotta stop underestimating the Dreamcast. So, did these old games age well? No. Although I don't really like using that expression because it insinuates that something used to work and doesn't anymore. It seems that everyone except for very nostalgic diehard fans hated these games even back then. Nostalgia will definitely play a role in defending these titles, and I'm a diehard fan of South Park. And the most praise I can give these is that they have South Park aesthetic. There's something special as a time capsule with these. My favorite part is the opening with the Comedy Central logo, and it states "Catch South Park on Wednesdays at 10. Unfortunately, these games were a bit before my time, but I'm sure that does well to bring fans from that time period back to that special early era of South Park. But once you start playing the games, they're not very good. I really thought I could find more merit in them, but I can't. The truth of the matter is, these were rushed projects trying to bank on a popular IP to fill up some Christmas trees. The love and devotion for the source material is there, that's evident enough, but they needed more time and innovation because these just feel uninspired and rushed. Would I encourage South Park fans to seek these out? They might look good on your shelf, the artwork is pretty cool, but for actually playing them? No. There's better options out there, and unless you're really curious or really nostalgic, stick with the newer stuff. An expression I don't use that often. Did you guys play these games growing up? Do you have any fun nostalgic memories for them? Let me know in the comments below. As always, leave a like if you enjoyed the video and help me fight that algorithm. And be sure to hit that subscribe button and check out my socials. Keep up with the channel. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.